So we've arrived here at the lake. We're just waiting for the boat to come over from the other side. It's about an hour and a half or so, I would say, to get from Mult.dev down to here, including a short break along the way for a coffee break. Pretty overcast day. The road to get here was pretty much what I would have expected, but no different than a lot of the roads that I'd seen in Honduras and Nicaragua along the way. So we're just waiting for the boat. Should be along here shortly. I suspect it'll be a bumpy ride on the ride over on the boat, but that's fine. Just as long as the rain holds off until we get there, that's the most important part. Some absolutely beautiful scenery along the way as well. I managed to capture a few clips with my phone. My camera was packed away at the time, but I got a few clips that I'll put on the screen here. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of tourist shuttles. I consider it cheating a little bit, I guess, in some ways. I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been on the road for so long now at this point, and so used to using the public transit and everything else that, you know, these kind of tourist buses are pretty easy. But there wasn't a lot of option, I guess, this time, really. This is one of those times where it just made sense in every way, both, you know, the amount of time, especially saving myself 6 or probably 7 hours in the end of it all. It's fine, but yeah, beautiful spot. We're just here at the lake waiting for our boat to arrive and continue on our way to La Fortuna. Well, here comes a boat. I'm not sure if it's ours or not, but we'll find out in a moment. But should be a smoother ride than I expected. I was sort of expecting one of those lancha style boats that we used to ride when I was in Lake Arenal and some other spots. But this is definitely a much bigger touristy type boat. I shouldn't be surprised. Our water chariot has arrived. Got really busy all of a sudden. There was like 3 boats that showed up all at once, but they're all very specific to the companies you're with, so you just got to kind of wait. But it was only about, I don't know, about 20 minutes. Not too bad. Beautiful spot. So anyway, 1 minute, we will board and be on our way. This is Lake Arenal, I believe is how you pronounce it, and we're just heading straight over across to the other side. Good afternoon and pura vida, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ian, known as WanderBeard around these parts. And today we have arrived in La Fortuna here in Costa Rica after my shuttle excursion yesterday to get over to here. Everything went unsurprisingly very smooth, as those tourist shuttles usually do. Still not a fan of them. I find them to be very expensive and kind of a sterile experience, I guess is the best way to put it. But one of the things that I have found, at least in these first couple of stops on sort of back on the mainland area here in Costa Rica, is that public buses are a little more difficult to track down and find schedules for. So, as you saw, I came here, as I said, on a tourist shuttle, and that was only because the other option involves 3 buses over 9 hours, and would have been like probably $10 or $12 in total. And I think that in the end of it all, it did seem to be a better option for the tourist shuttle, if only because there were 2 times where I would have to change buses, and if one was falling behind or something, there was no other buses the rest of the day. Like, that was the only one route a day, and that was it. So I begrudgingly, somewhat, took that tourist shuttle. But anyway, we are here, and I thought I'd give you a little walk around town here to have a look at the place. La Fortuna, or just Fortuna, is a very popular tourist destination here in Costa Rica. There are lots of activities to do here, lots of places to check out, and the number one attraction here in the city is the ever-present volcano Arenal, which you can see from here in town. Well, you can't see it today because it's covered in clouds, so it's very difficult to see, but that is Arenal volcano off there in the distance. It is in its usual sort of look, in that it is very cloud covered. Even when you're here in La Fortuna, much of the time it looks just like that, even if it's sunny here in town. We are just over here in the central park for La Fortuna. It's a beautiful park, great landscaping, and surrounded by restaurants and, you know, different places, tourist shops and stuff, markets, those types of things. There is another Bank Nacional here, which I mentioned in my last video. If you're at least from my perspective, from Canada, there were no ATM fees again at that bank. So if you see one and you need cash, or if you're going somewhere the next day and you think I should probably get some cash before I go, that would be my recommendation as well. So tomorrow, as I said, my plan is to actually go up to the volcano to do a hike. The hike itself is only around the base of the volcano, or in certain sections. The volcano itself is prohibited from climbing up to the top for a variety of reasons. It is still an active volcano here in Costa Rica. It's had some very major eruptions in the past. Most recently, 1992, and I believe 2010, they had pretty severe eruptions of the volcano. There were some in the past, I believe I want to say 76, but I'll put that on the screen if I have that date wrong, caused dozens of deaths and covered entire towns in ash and debris. So for that reason, and for the purposes of conservation as well, the summit of the volcano itself is off limits. But the hike around it to some viewpoints and things like that is really, really nice. I've seen some pictures that look beautiful, and so I thought maybe tomorrow I would go and check that out. As with any sort of touristy town, going out to eat can eat into your budget, pardon the pun, very quickly. And here I would say is no different. There are plenty of restaurants around that are very tourist minded. However, there are also some very good deals to be found in town. Anywhere you travel in Costa Rica, one of the things you want to look out for are what's known as sodas. And I briefly mentioned this in the past, that sodas are sort of locally owned restaurants, often with, you know, fast food style foods or kind of typical plates, and they're often more affordable than a lot of the other places. So I thought today, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to one of the sodas here, Soda Leo's, and check it out. Apparently it's one of the most popular places in town for locals and has some of the best prices as well. So it's actually just over here behind me, 1 block from the bus station, and let's head over there now and get some food. So we're just over here by the bus terminal. As I said, the bus terminal is just at the back side, and there's actually a grocery store just around the corner too, Mega Super. So if you're like me and you like to try and, you know, at least make your breakfasts and things, or a meal or two a day, the supermarket here is fully stocked. Picked up a few things yesterday, and yeah, great stop. So let's head into Soda Leo and get some food. So I just went with the sub sandwich and fries, and it comes with a Coke, and it was 3,000 colones, which is like $6 for the whole plate, including the drink. So I'll wait for that to arrive, and then we'll dig in. So we got ourselves a mixed meat sandwich, a nice bun with some fries, and a Coke. And that's perfect for what I need for today. So I have stuff for dinner back at the hotel. So that was great. It's a nice little quick lunch, very affordable, and again, it's always nice to be able to support local businesses whenever I travel. So from here, let's just take a little walk around sort of the downtown area here a little bit, and talk about a little bit about my plans for Costa Rica going forward from here. Here's a very confusing map of the area. So they've got the volcano here, and you kind of have to go around to get to it. So there's the viewpoint for the volcano. As I mentioned, you can't climb up it. There's the lake we came across yesterday on the ferry, heading that way. We are down here, sort of where it says in the town of La Fortuna, and this kind of gives you a layout, sort of the town itself. It's not very big. There's the Central Park where we're standing, and the church. I'm just staying sort of up here. It doesn't even show the street that I'm on up here, but anyway, it's one of those kind of maps that you can use if you want to download it. There's the barcode, and has all kinds of information here about different places to stay and things to do and restaurants to eat. It is trying to get really sunny out at the moment. Just having a look again here. It's like you can see off in the distance, like this isn't the volcano, it's over here, but you can see the clouds are hanging pretty low on the hills. Lots of tourist shops. I was going to record a little bit and talk while I was walking over there, but every store had music playing, and that always makes it very difficult to get any recording done. So we'll walk over here instead. Just decided to sit under this ginormous tree here in the park for a minute. So my plans going forward from here. I had planned to go next. I had planned for 3 more stops in Costa Rica after this one. And I have found it exceedingly difficult to find a simple way to get to my next stop. So I was planning on going next to Bajos del Toro, which is famous for its waterfalls. The town is surrounded by 8 or 9 or 10 different very impressive waterfalls, all with this kind of Gatorade blue color water, and has looked really amazing from the pictures that I've seen. The only problem is there is no public transportation to get to Bajos del Toro, as far as I can tell. There is transportation to a town about 10 to 15 kilometers away, and then from there you either have to figure something out, I guess. It's the one thing that I found in Costa Rica so far, as I've talked about this a couple times already, but I have found it very difficult so far to freely get around as much as I was able to in other countries. It really feels like you need to have a rental car or something like that in many ways. There's actually this really great no-frills website called the Bus Schedule, and you can pick it for pretty much any country you're in Latin America, and it will give you directions and schedules and stuff from point A to point B. And they don't even have a listing for Bajos del Toro in their scheduling. So I'm going to dig a bit farther, but I may have to skip it entirely and just head right to the capital, San Jose, for a few days. There are things in San Jose that I wanted to go and check out anyway. There's the coffee tour that I went to back in 2011 that I'd like to take again. You can get to Poas volcano from San Jose. So there are certain things that I can definitely do from there, and it is by no means the end of the world. I was actually planning on going to Poas volcano from Bajos del Toro, but I don't think that's going to be an option. So I'm a little disappointed with that. But that is the result of what happens when you are in Costa Rica and are traveling solo, relying on public transportation and things like that. It does make it a bit more difficult. And I had read earlier that going from San Jose to pretty much anywhere else in the country on bus is easy. There's no one central bus station in San Jose, but every company has their own stop in the city, and you can get pretty well everywhere from there. The problem is that you can't really go cross country from one place to the other without having to go through San Jose first. So I may go to San Jose for a little bit longer and give myself some more time there to explore, and maybe use that as a starting point to get out and check out some other things along the way. After San Jose, my plan is then to head down the Atlantic coast down to Puerto Viejo, somewhere along that stretch, and check out that part of the country for a few days as well. It's supposed to be really pretty, and there are buses that go there, which is nice. And then from there, it's actually a pretty easy border crossing from there into Panama after that. So all in, it will be about another month or so from start to finish here in Costa Rica, which has been a really good experience overall, apart from some of the difficulties in getting around. But I'm making do, and I'm just adjusting as I need to. So it's not the end of the world. Anyway, let's head back, and I will show you where I've been staying here in La Fortuna. It was a pretty good deal, I thought, and for a place that's very popular with tourists, even in the off season, I thought it worked out to be a pretty good spot. So it's just down the road here, another block. So I'm staying here at the Nice Place Hostel, which is in La Fortuna, just about 2 blocks from the main square. And I'm here for 3 nights in total, so last night, tonight, and tomorrow night. And this is the room that I had here. This is room number 7. And it's just a fan room, which is fine. It's not super hot here. A little warmer than I expected, but it's been good. Killer bed, nice memory foam mattress on top, so it's been great for sleeping. And then in through here we have our bathroom, nice private bathroom, good hot shower, all the little usual things that go with that. A little storage space here with a little bedside table. And then out here there's actually a main shared dining / kitchen area. So you've got a full kitchen over here, which has been great. Refrigerator, all the appliances you need, everything else. Nice sitting area here for eating. And another area outside here also. Get a nice view of the hills through the fence, and overall a fantastic spot. So I'll use the easy joke and say that Nice Place Hostel is a nice place to stay here in La Fortuna. It's very quiet. I think I'm the only guest here last night and so far today. But I'll put all the information here on the screen. And yeah, nice place. It's been quiet, good for sleeping, nice full kitchen, like I said. So I don't know what more you could possibly need. Been here 5 days, and this is the first time that it's been clear enough to see the entire volcano.
One eternity later.
Hey there! You're probably wondering how I got here. Well, have I got a story for you.